Untamed is going to be untamed. It's going to be a little crazy. I want to talk to my people. I want to talk to my brothers and sisters. We can have grace and humility in how we interact with other people.
Oh, hot dog, look at you.
And nobody talked about what's really happening.
And let's have conversations about what truth is.
Well, hello. I am joining you from the mountains. So I'm going to go ahead and show it to you. See down there. I don't know if you can see down there. That is a big field. Nobody to be seen. We are up here and we are going to go elk hunting. And if I get a chance on the break, I'll bring out the guns and show you what I'll be shooting while I'm up here. All right, so we have some great guests today, and I'm going to walk through some stuff. I apologize for wearing sunglasses, but it is abnormally hot out here, and the sun is just everywhere. So it's a great time to be here, although we're going to have to go at a higher altitude, I think, to find the elk. So that should be interesting. We'll see how that goes. So we have Juan O'Savin that's going to join us, and also Tracie Halvorsen. And I got a little guy that wants to jump on the show. You want to say hi? This is Kodak. Kodak, say hi. You're going to help me hunt the elk, huh? Yeah? Yeah, I think you will. Okay, go play in the freeway. But before we bring them on, and we're going to talk about, by the way, let me just tell you what they're going to talk about. They have a UtahCorruption.com federal class action nuke. It's a, they call it the RINO fraud factory. And I think that they're probably not that far from the truth. They have fake primaries and, they face the same thing that we face across the country. Look, we've had to deal with quite a bit of fraud collectively, and the gaslighting that comes from the media and the machines that basically say, hey, listen, I need you to do everything you can to perpetuate this fraud. That's the only reason that these machines and mail-in ballots still exist is because it favors these clowns. So we're gonna have a conversation with them about that, and I'm just gonna premise it by saying they're also going to be creating something in Colorado as well. So we'll talk to them a little bit about that as well, and then we're gonna close out the day with talking about some funny stuff. We have some tranny socialists running for office, and you just can't make this stuff up. You actually can't make this up. But let's talk about this morning. I woke up pretty much on fire. 3:30 in the morning, I started making phone calls, and I'm really disappointed in where we're at. Tina Peters is still in jail. Kardashian Patel created a new channel for the FBI to combat pretty much. I mean, I think that the whole reason they have it is because Kyle Seraphin lives rent-free in their head pretty much daily. And the reason why Kyle's a problem is because no matter who you are, if you put out something and it's nonsense, if it's ridiculous, Kyle will be like, yeah, that's not true. And because he has the experience that he has inside the FBI and he knows how things work, Kyle's right 99.99% of the time. And that doesn't allow the FBI to lie to people. And he can't be bought. And so I got a few things I want to go over first. The first thing that I want to say is, the tweet I put out this morning specific to Tina Peters. And so I'm going to read it to you if you haven't seen it. It's being pretty well suppressed. They sent all the bots over to basically say nothing can happen to Tina. Tina should stay in jail. But let me just tell you, we'll just start off by going through this tweet or X post. I put it out everywhere, actually. Good morning. Tina Peters is still in jail. Political geniuses talk about how they got Todd Blanche to write a strongly worded letter. All bullshit. But hey, I calmed the people for just a minute. We begged these assholes to do the right thing. We spent 5 years fighting for the obvious. We took the beatings, lawsuits, the slander, the media bullshit lies. We fought for 5 years. Now we have to beg for justice while being told it's complicated. No, it's not. Cut the bullshit. You reach in, you snatch Tina from the corrupt election stealing state coup assholes. It's not a priority for Pam Bondi or Todd Blanche, not too busy taking sides in the cover-up of the J6 pipe bomber. Maybe they should call the influencers and hand them another binder of bullshit on the White House lawn. Mr. President, 5 years. You were not the only one that suffered. You were not the only one that paid the price for truth. We fought, we traveled, we were persecuted, and we were demoralized and slandered. We took everything they threw at us. Tina took the fake conviction and the persecution as well as anyone could expect. She did the right thing. She stood up. She put it all on the line. Anyone and everyone that is not insane saw the trial, saw the corruption, and absolutely saw the fraudulent election systems. It was obvious and the evidence overwhelming. Yet Tina is now sick and still in jail, a political prisoner, betrayed by the winners. We can bring world peace to the Middle East, but we can't free Tina Peters. Politicians can set aside $500,000 each for themselves in the bill to reopen the government, but can't free Tina Peters. We can decisively rescue cities held hostage by criminals, but can't free Tina Peters. It is, after all, complicated. The federal government can snatch prisoners out of the state prisons at will to fit their need, but it's complicated. We can't free Tina Peters. Give me a break, Mr. President. I don't care what the rules you have to break. I don't care how complicated it is. You can see the injustice and the crimes committed, yet we still have to act like we are the elephant, held in place by a string tied to our leg, tied to a fence that's not even standing. Free Tina Peters, Mr. President, now. And then declare a state of emergency, ban machines, and mail-in ballots. Give the people back Tina Peters and hold these demons accountable. I hate the enemy too, because I hate evil. Let's stop pretending we're not dealing with anything other than the devil itself. Free Tina Peters. With absolute respect, Joe. I didn't know how else to write it. And you could say, well, that's, you could say a lot of things. I mean, there's a lot of things you could say. What you can't say is that Tina Peters deserves to be in jail and that it's complicated, because it's not. It's not complicated. Every time they want to get something done to feed their own faces, it gets done. And what we're saying is that we're no longer willing to sit back and watch them do what they're doing and act with impunity. They need to, we shouldn't have to beg for justice. We shouldn't have to beg for them to do the right thing. Let's go to the second one if we can. I had to take a couple shots at Kardashian Patel. And the reason being is because they don't know how to stop lying. They don't know how to stop lying. And I'm not saying that Tucker Carlson is right about everything. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that Kyle Seraphin is right about everything. But be a grown-up. Act like a grown-up. Act like you're not some social media mental midget. But you can't do that either. So here's what I wrote. Kardashian Patel thought he would use social media geniusness to create a handle. That can handle the backlash against who and what he is. He can't hide for two reasons. The people in the FBI do not like or trust him, so they provide no cover, mostly because Patel has not dealt with the institutional rot. And he betrayed the people who helped him get into the position outside the FBI, so no one will help or defend him here either. This is what happens when you are a self-centered scammer with no real talents or abilities. You should know them by their fruits. And this is in response to what Brenna Morello put up, the FBI's rapid response account, which is the new account for the FBI. Tried to fact check Tucker Carlson, but Community Notes just stepped in with the receipts. And so the FBI rapid response team says, the FBI has never said Thomas Crooks had no online footprint ever. And Tucker Carlson said the FBI told us Thomas Crooks tried to kill Donald Trump last summer, but somehow had no online footprint. The FBI lied, and we can prove it because we have his posts. Question is why? Story tomorrow. And so it has a reader's content in July 30th, 2024. In a hearing, FBI Deputy Director Paul Abbott disclosed a social media account believed to be associated with the shooter. Abbott went on to describe a general absence from other information to date from social media, which was an absolute lie. See, the FBI can't help themselves but lie. And more, the people are just growing tired of dealing with the liars in government. It's not business as usual anymore. We don't give a shit about Pam Bondi. We don't care about Todd Blanche. We don't care about career pieces of shit that do everything they can to suck the asshole out of the guy in front of them, like Kash Patel did, in order to get a job in the FBI. And when you tell me that you're actually doing great work and you go and you arrest pro ball players for having illegal poker games or for betting on games, all you show me is the only person that you see as a threat is the American people. You don't give a shit what the government people do because they're the elitists. They could do whatever they want. I mean, why not? Just let them have carte blanche. Do whatever you want, as long as you're on our team. Team Cash Patel. You run around with your little Patel cash pins on your deal as if you're the Trump brand. You're not. You're not. You're a midget Indian dude that frankly should be running a call center rather than doing what you're doing. That's what I feel. I feel you've betrayed the suspendables, you've betrayed the FBI, you've betrayed the Americans, and all you do is lie. And then you go to people like Julie Kelly, and you're like, Julie Kelly, do me a favor. I need you to run interference for me. Or you run over to Bannon, or you run over to all these places. You guys have built a fraternity of bullshit, and everybody knows it. Everyone knows it, and we're tired of it. Why sit here and kowtow to you? Why would we do it? We don't want to be a part of your inner group that betrays the American people. That's what they're telling you. The J6 bomber. That's what I mean. Frankly, if you want to know what I think about what Kyle's saying that you don't deserve to be in the position because, frankly, you don't have anybody's interest but your own interest in mind. And Dan Bongino, shame on you. Shame on you. You came in, stood up, said, Pam Bondi's got to go or I got to go. And then you just said, oh, well, maybe I can fly around on a new G665 and have a little bit of fun. Maybe I can use the taxpayer dollars to do whatever I want and, live the high life. And you sold us out. You sold us out. You knew what the truth was, and you refused to let the public know. Instead, you put something out that's just a bunch of more bullshit on the Steve Baker J5, J6 deal. So, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed because, you fight for 5 years. You fight for what you think is going to be a group of patriots, and it turns out you got President Trump, who is absolutely a patriot, and the people that turned out to be patriots, yeah, they're Democrats. Yeah, Bobby Kennedy, Tulsi Gabbard, they're Democrats. I mean, historically, they're Democrats, and they're the ones doing the most damage and collecting the most information. President Trump does what he can. Every time he steps in and says, executive order, send in the National Guard, it makes things better for people. But the people that he has underneath him, a bunch of idiots. I mean, and not all of them. Dan Scavino, great guy. I mean, I could probably go through a list, and there's probably a ton that are good people, but it is the same old, same old. It's, what I see it as? I see it as Biden light. Because even the people that are in Congress that are Republicans, they had the opportunity to run over and do the filibuster, break it, because frankly, we don't have another election. We're going to not do the filibuster because we're afraid they'll use it in the future. Listen, nobody is going to elect them ever in the future if you use the filibuster and you get us free and fair elections. No one. They're 10%, 15% of the population. Maybe they capture parts of California and parts of the Northeast, but that's it. You're going to be giving people back the ability to have a voice and not be enslaved by a system that overtaxes them and steals everything from them. So, but that would also throw out most of those congressmen on the left and the right, because we would want people that actually went back to our communities and took care of them. So let's talk about this last one that I put up real quick. This is I think how the American people see it, and what I try to do is articulate it in such a way that, frankly, it makes sense. Bureaucrats and lawyers have America held hostage. It's time to revolt against the rot and siege. Look, I don't actually care what you think about. And by the way, it got throttled on on every platform because I said revolt. Revolt is not going out there and violently overthrowing the government. It's not an insurrection. What's happening to the American people right now, that's an insurrection. That's an insurrection. What we're dealing with as Americans, that's an insurrection. Having the ability to have all of your rights stripped away from you, to have no representation at any level of government, to have bureaucrats and lawyers that basically tell you that you have to wait in line, to have persecutions against Americans everywhere, and people that frankly have aligned themselves to the left and fist bumped and had fun together. Those are the people that say that they represent our best interest. I am yet to hear one politician other than President Trump speak clearly about what are the inner cities need, about what the poorest among us need. And you want to know why? Because that's really not what their focus is. They want to talk to the law-abiding people and say, oh, we're gonna give you more jobs. There's an opportunity drought, a food drought, and an education drought to nearly 45% of America, right? That's white, black, green, yellow, purple. It's in the same in middle America as it is in the inner cities. And they don't want those people to have an opportunity. That's the simple truth. So, if we don't get rid of machines and mail-in ballots, we have no chance. If we do get rid of machines and mail-in ballots, we still have a 50-50 chance if we're willing to fight, stand up and fight. So we have our guests here. You want to hear from them. You probably don't want to hear from me. But I just want to say that, we're going to talk a little bit more about Tina, and I just found out about this other Dexter Taylor guy. I'm going to dig into that. Owen Schreier put some stuff out and asked for the information related to Tina Peters and to Dexter. I don't know his story, but I'm going to find out about it. So with that said, let me just tell you about our guests that'll be with us today. Juan O'Savin's going to be on, and Tracie Halvorsen. Tracie Halvorsen is an election warrior. She's been fighting and involved in a federal lawsuit as a plaintiff. I'm going to start by just showing her website real quick. And one of the things that has happened, I think Tracie will probably be able to talk to this, is that President Trump won in November of 2024, and it is as if everyone took a deep breath and decided to crawl underneath the rock. And it left everyone in this place where you're like, where'd everybody go? And we've lost, just so you know, we've lost every election. The Republicans have lost every election since President Trump took office. Down ballot, they stole every down ballot race that they possibly could have done in order to push the limits in 2024. President Trump won, but down ballot, they did their part. ES&S, Smartmatic, Dominion voting systems, they basically put everything in place to steal elections, not just for 2024, but going into the future. We lost a special election in Pennsylvania that has not had a Democrat in that office for 50 years. Obviously, you have Scott, the fraud Pressler, who's out there saying that we can basically outvote the machines. We can't, and we just harvest ballots everywhere. The guy's a retard, okay? His dad works for the DOD and the propaganda unit. It's a family affair as far as how they handle things. He ran around and took millions of dollars from special interest groups, and he stuffed his fat face while trying to have sex with staffers inside of GOP offices. So you know what? That's not the guy that we want to. And I hope Tracie and Juan agree with me. But if they don't, hey, listen, it's a free country. I'll definitely give them a little bit of truth while they're on. But Tracie hasn't stopped. She has this website called utahcorruption.com. If we could put it up real quick. I do believe that they're also going to be doing something about Colorado as well. So let's just run through this. It basically, everywhere you look, we're talking about the election systems and what's happening. So the basic story, according to the lawsuit, I'm going to have her go through it. I'm not going to read it from the site. And I don't know, is Juan with us too, or do we have Tracie first and then we'll have Juan later? All right, let's just bring Tracie in. Tracie, hey, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for doing all the work that you're doing. I know that it's a thankless job, and it probably makes you a little bit more, what do they call us? I call it Leah, the sharp warrior on the Pennsylvania side, and I've heard that you've done some of the same in Utah.
Yeah, I'm fighting it really hard here, but if we first could go back to the website, and I'll just go through the navigation, and then we can kind of describe what we're what the lawsuit's about. So anybody can join. It's going to be a class action. Even if you're not a Utahn, you can join because we have a U.S. Senate seat that's been that has not have anybody elected in there, and we also we get like $7 billion federal money. So none of our state governor is not elected. His name is Spencer Cox. He's our state governor, and he's not elected. And so it does, in fact, it impacts everyone. And the bigger this class action lawsuit gets, the more it'll help us with the court system. So there you can join. It says join the lawsuit there. Any donations we get, it's just going to get to help like bring awareness to it. We're going to do billboards and just bring people's awareness of what's going on in Utah. But then it goes through, and if you could scroll back up to the section of where it talks about the case. So that's just a quick synopsis there. And then if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see where you can read the actual filed briefs that we've done. And there's a complaint. There is a bunch of motions that now we're in motion war right now. And an amicus brief has been filed, and that means a friend of the court. And then there's 92 exhibits that you can go through. It was a 20-pound complaint that was served upon these jerks. So please join it, and anything you guys can contribute just to help with the advertising of it. I donate all my time, so I do this on the side and in between on my spare time. So
Spare time.
that is the website.
It's a lot of spare time because you end up spending two jobs.
Yeah, I don't sleep. I just work. But essentially what the case is about is our elections in Utah. You have a caucus convention system, and that is when you go to caucus. It's a precinct, it's your voting precinct here, and your neighbors elect your delegate, and their delegate will go off to the convention and pick and elect the nominee. And if that person, the candidate, gets 60% or more, they go directly to the general ballot. If they don't, the top two candidates are nominated to a final primary ballot. And this is for the Republican Party in Utah, but the case impacts everybody, because if the Republicans cheat, then that's not fair to the Democrats. It's not fair to anybody. So it doesn't matter what party you are. This impacts everybody. And
why not, Tracie, why not let the system be what the system is and let everyone vote freely and fairly?
Yeah.
Why is it that we have this system that they want to knock on your head, rub on your belly, move around a little bit, and so they can manipulate the outcome of the election? Why is it that more people aren't pissed off about the fact that they made it so complicated so that they can cheat? It's easy to see.
Yeah. And here, I think it's just a lack of being informed. And there is this trust in our government and our elected officials that they're telling you the truth, and they're not. They're liars. For example, they have told the Republican Party that they can force a signature gathering process and essentially veto their delegate nomination vote. So it's like essentially our representative form of government, which starts in our precincts and our neighborhoods, it gets vetoed because your neighbors vote you in, and then you go and nominate to the ballot. But instead they say, oh no, we get to gather signatures and veto the delegate vote. And that's essentially what happened. Spencer Cox said he gathered 28,000 signatures and he got a second chance at the nomination, even though he lost at convention. And then imagine that during the primary, their unlawful direct primary, they declared themselves the nominee. And so they went on to the general ballot, and surprise, surprise, they won again. Even though he was eliminated and disqualified at convention. And that's the same with John Curtis, is our U.S. Senate person that's in now. He was disqualified at convention, but he gathered signatures, and I think he spent over $1 million paying for these signatures. And the law doesn't say that. It's just that they're making it up as they go along. And so we don't have a representative form of government, and that's what we are suing the state for. We asked the Department of Justice, well, we haven't asked, we filed a motion to join the United States government as a plaintiff because they owe us. They owe us a representative form of government, and they should be in here suing on our behalf.
Okay. Does the Justice Department being rotted to the core concern you at all? I mean, does it concern you with what the outcome could be in your case?
My concern is with the whole court system. So right now I'm pro se, and there's 6 main plaintiffs right now. And then we have over 4,000 that have signed on. But I am concerned about the justice system, because in Utah, if you're a pro se, they think you're stupid. So they're going to just automatically assign you a magistrate judge. They don't give you a choice. But then the preliminary injunction, it will make it go back to a Article 3 judge, which is a constitutional judge. And this is federal court I'm talking, because that's where we filed, because our violations of our First Amendment rights. But here, the clerk usurped her authority and took back the motions to go back to the magistrate judge. And, the magistrate system is, to me, the system that protects the government. It protects the broken, corrupt system. And this is a RICO case because it involves multiple departments. It involves an executive department that is willing to cheat, a judicial department that's willing to protect it because they illegally dismissed Phil Lyman's petition challenging the primary. And then you have a legislative department that's not willing to do anything to try and fix the illegal behavior or the misconstrued of the law. So it does. I feel like if there's no relief, then we've had an insurrection in my mind. According to the law, Insurrection Act, if somebody manipulates your state laws to benefit them, that's an insurrection, and that's what we've had. They manipulated our election law and tried to convince people that they can use this signature gathering process. It's like a state veto of our delegate votes, because they think that the elite, they own the state, and they think that they can choose better choose better candidates. And it's the candidates that are passing bills that give them a bunch of money. And so that's what the whole system is, and that's why it's a RICO case.
Okay, so it's a RICO case. There's no question it's a RICO case, by the way. I mean, this is not even, it really isn't something you could even debate. In my opinion, I don't even think it's debatable of how and what the implications are. But you said something just now that's really interesting, and that we've already had an insurrection. So based on that, and I believe that's true. I believe that they have committed sedition. I believe that this is a coup against the American people, and they did it state by state. Based on that, the American people have a right to stand up and not just regress their grievances, but to fight against them, physically fight against them. Like, we have a right. And I think that's the fear that both sides has, is that they're both losing control. I don't believe that the Democrats and the Republicans are any different when we start looking at the people in power. They are thirsty for themselves. And I don't know if you know this. I want to get your thoughts on this. There was 8 congressmen that made sure that because of Arctic frost, which is them being investigated and or wiretapped, there was 8 congressmen that put in entitlements up to $500,000 per occurrence in the new budget, so that they would get paid if there was a presumption that any of them were found to have been a part of Arctic frost and that the FBI was illegally tapping them. So they wrote in their own entitlements into the bill, saying off to the American people. I mean, that's in essence what they said.
Yeah.
And these were Republicans, these were not Democrats.
Yeah. And that's how it is here. I mean, here in Utah, the Republican Party is the 900-pound gorilla. I mean, you can't really win without being a Republican. So they've all infiltrated our party. And now most people think, oh, they've got R behind their name, they're going to be conservative. No, that's not what's happening here in Utah. We are going so communist. They passed a bill that removed our religious freedoms. It said the government can have a big enough reason to remove your religious freedom. And we're supposed to be a Christian state. It's insane. So it is the Republicans here. It's the RINOs here that have taken over. So I agree. The system was never meant to be party lines. It's just supposed to be follow the Constitution, and that's it.
It was supposed to be for the people.
Yes.
Supposed to be that the elected leaders went back to their communities and said, let's have a town hall. What do you want? What do you need? And the fact that I'm actually more in tune with what the community needs than any of the politicians, and I know because I call them up and have a conversation with them, and I'm like, hey, listen, there's a trade deficit. What I mean by trade deficit is trade school deficit for the impoverished communities. Do you think we can get some funding and put in some trade schools in some of the inner cities? And they're like, wait, what? There's 2 programs in Colorado already. It services 400 people a year. Mm-hmm. Right? So they talk about it as if they're actually doing some great good. I go, well, okay, well, there's 145,000 students.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate the fact you gave 400 a lottery ticket, and the rest of them you want to put on the doles by giving them, government's, subsidized school loans, so you can have your fork in them for the next 20 years. But how about some real stuff? They just don't, Tracie. They're so out of touch.
They are.
Not just the election systems, and the dissolution on the communist side. These Democrat socialists, that we could just make everybody equally suck. I don't even know how to. I can't reconcile it.
It's just to enrich themselves. The 400 students there probably are related to them and somehow.
Look, you're looking at like trade schools for, mechanics and
Yeah.
plumbers and electricians, and look, I tell everyone that the election systems are the reason. It is the only problem we have, is that we don't have free and fair elections. We have complicated election systems that allow oligarchy to exist inside of our leadership across the country. And it used to be that people went in and they did the work they did and they got out. But because they built these systems over the last 50 years, we have people that have been in Congress for 50 years.
Yeah, and in Utah, we have them, they're past 20 years here just in the state elections. We used to be able to unseat them. That's the whole beautiful thing about delegate system, the caucus convention, is you can unseat them. And that's what we did. We unseated Spencer Cox, our governor, and we had an open seat of the U.S. Senate, but we didn't want John Curtis, who was our previous House rep. We knew he was dirty. We didn't want him, and so we went for another guy named Trent Staggs, and they all should have went straight to the general ballot, and they would have won because they're a Republican nominee, but the oligarchs, like you speak to, they can't have that because their businesses depend on government contracts, government money, and they keep taxing us higher and higher and higher. I mean, some counties here are getting 30% tax increase. It's ridiculous.
And we shouldn't have property tax. I mean, we're here talking about all the things that, frankly, we can turn on we could do the switch tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
We're no longer interested in this, right? But it's going to take a Bundy stand, so to speak.
Yeah.
Right? A last draw where we basically stand up and say, and look what they did to him, by the way. He beat
and just
3 times.
Yeah, and to speak about Bundy, they came after my father and tried to trespass him about 6 months ago, to trespass him because he used a road to access his acreage that's landlocked by public land. He totally had the easement right. So meanwhile, I was trying to write this case for the election fraud. I had to file another RICO case and stop them from throwing him in prison. He's a 73-year-old farmer that they said he can access the road using his land unless he applied and paid $4,000. And they said, if you don't apply, if you don't, it's the BLM. They said, if you don't apply, we're going to erase your road and we're going to throw you in jail and charge you with trespassing. And I'm like, do you guys not have any common sense? Like,
and
that's coming out of your mouth.
Bureau of Land Management, right?
Yeah. So I had to sue the United States government to stop him, stop them from hurting him.
Case, by the way, just so you know, the Chevron case said that bureaucracies do not have the right to instill and install laws and or consequences for decisions that they make that are not actually backed by the legislature. It says it right there, but they don't care.
They don't
care. Tracy, they don't care at all. And this is the problem that I have, is that we literally have these conversations. I'm getting more and more angry as I'm sitting here talking to you, because you know how many Americans have the problems that you have right now?
Yeah.
And you don't know until you get in the system. And then the system hurts you so badly that you do everything you can to hide because they bullied you into a place of compliance.
Yes, and that's what they would have done if I wasn't there with my dad saying no. They would have bullied him into it. They even, after we filed and they realized that they violated RICO with their threat of robbery and extortion, and then they started to say, well, what about $5? Is that okay? I'm like, no, our rights are not for sale.
You see what we're dealing with, though?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Pay us $5. So you want me to bribe you? They're no better than a third world country. It's actually worse.
Yeah, it's like the mob. You know?
It's organized.
Pay your rent.
It's organized crime.
Yep.
Well, let me ask you a question about this. So Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson refused to validate the official results of the Republican convention, correct?
Yes, she usurped her authority. The qualified political party, which is the Republican Party, gave her the nominees from the convention and the results and told her which ones that they should go on to which ballot. And she usurped her authority and created a counterfeit ballot But when she put her name and Spencer's name on the ballot, and then she put it in the mail. And she did it twice because they were disqualified at convention. She declares herself the winner of the primary and John Curtis. And then so she creates another ballot for the general ballot.
So why didn't you guys storm the Bastille? Why did you guys not storm the Bastille? Why didn't everybody go in there and literally just with their pitchforks and their tiki torches and literally go in there and say, we've had enough, right?
Well,
by the way, I got a tiki torch.
Yeah. I tried to like tell the party. So I went into the party at a state central committee and said, hey, you guys, she's broken the law here. We can fix this. Let's go and tell her, no, she can't do this. But when I was trying to tell the party that, I had the Republican Party chair, the Utah Republican Party chair, Robert Axon, and Kim Coleman was the vice chair at the time, who is now the national committee woman. They physically tried to have me removed from the meeting. They called the police, filled out a false police report, tried to have me arrested they made up this thing.
Why are the men?
Huh?
Where are the men, Tracy?
I know. There were some men there, but not like you. The men.
Why not a phone call? Man, we have a brotherhood for a reason. I pick up the phone. I'm like, I need 100 guys here right now. Right?
And
the police come and they're like, yeah, you need more people.
Yeah.
And then you have more people show up. It's got to get to the place where we've had enough.
I agree.
Enough.
Yeah. So they tried to arrest me, and then we went on to file a petition, and that's when the Justice Durant denied it illegally. See, so you've got a Republican Party leadership that is protecting the system.
Yeah,
you've got the justice. Yeah, it's done. So that's why I'm trying in the federal court, and I've already see them and their shenanigans too right now.
Right,
so
we have Juan joining us too. Juan O'Savin. I don't want to. Last time Juan was on a couple days ago, I don't think I've ever seen him that angry. He got angry because Tina should be out of jail.
Yes.
They want to deny her care. The good news is based on the video. Go ahead and bring Juan in. Juan, welcome to the show. Based on the video that we put out before, I just want you to know that the phone calls to the Bureau of Prisons, I think we made like 9,000 calls to them. So they made sure that they got in and saw Tina immediately. So they moved it from Tuesday to the day after our broadcast. So it worked, Juan. You're getting mad worked. We need to get madder. We need to get more mad.
Well, still, even that is potentially a Pyrrhic victory. The stress on her physical body, cumulatively from all these years that she's been under attack, where government has been weaponized against her, it's taken its toll. There's damage there that no matter what happens, it's with her for what remains of her life at this point in time. And at the end of the day, here's the other thing. I was just sharing with some other folks. Remember the remake of the Jackal movie with Bruce Willis? Mm-hmm. And the hinge point of the whole movie, it's very subtle, but it is the entire hinge point of the entire movie. It's just a very short 30-second exchange. He's been in a gunfight. The intelligence agents have tracked him down. They've got him cornered. He gets in this gunfight, and miraculously he kills all of them, except for one woman detective, Russian detective, and she's fatally wounded. He walks over to her, looks at her wound, puts her hand down on the wound on her liver, says, "Here, hold it right here, and you might make it 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You'll be dead in just a minute or two." And by the way, if you do live long enough to see Declan, who's the lead detective, if you see him, tell him, for me, you can't protect your women. And that's because he's giving a hint where he's actually going. He's going not to kill the president, but to kill the first lady, to get leverage on the whole system, the psyche of the country. That's the key. But if she lives long enough, she'll give him this clue, but he won't be able to figure out in time. The reality is, though, President Trump has said several times, let Tina Peters go. Get her out now. And nothing has happened. This has been going on. That was at the beginning of the summer. We're now in the middle of the fall, and nothing has happened. We were very well assured that she was going to be out before or on her birthday, September 11th. 2 months later, we're celebrating Veterans Day. Her son, Remington, who this beautiful person, Navy SEAL, an over.
I think we just lost Juan. Juan, are you there? I think we lost him. Tracy, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
We'll get him back in here in a minute. The great thing about Juan is every time he comes on, I feel like it's my soul brother, because he talks and I'm like, yep, yeah, I've watched Jackal a lot.
Yeah.
But he'll be on in a second. But I want to ask you a question about what he was saying.
What's that?
Actually, I want to ask a different question. Do you feel that men are involved in this the way that they should be?
No, I don't. I don't know what happened. I think the conservative men went on to take care of their families and work hard, and they didn't get involved in this politics because most people don't like it. But I know, I have a very strong man and a conservative husband, but he wasn't involved until he started hearing what was going on. And then recently he has had to go to meetings with me because he's fearing that they're going to hurt me.
Yeah, and you know what? He's already made the decision. He's ready to go to jail.
Yeah, I mean, he sits by me now, but to make sure they don't hurt me, because I have a guy, our Salt Lake County party chair, is very angry at me because I reported him for election interference, and there's not enough of men involved. There's not these conservative men. It's usually the very squishy, the squishy men have been involved forever. They'll call me mean because I'll call out their crap. And at one point I said, "You're dumb. You guys are just dumb." And so they get their feelings offended. But we need more conservative men starting to go to these meetings. And we've got really strong conservative women here in Utah because the mama bear came out during COVID. And so we've got really strong women that are showing up, but we need the men because they should be there protecting us.
The ethos is just not there. I mean, I built a fraternity of men where we started with 341. I put a thing out today. I'm interested to 100 people. I invited 50, or I invited 100 to 50 showed up. And now we're down to 32. And so I'm trying to mature these 32 and do, okay, how do I get another 32 and another 32 and do so quickly so that we can have density.
Yeah.
Right? In other words, get people to show up that care.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they're just men, or I don't even know. I don't even care if I lose my life. I don't care.
It's
I
to
love
that
my
point.
wife. I love my children. But I love the Lord, but I'm going to do whatever's necessary in order to protect my family, protect my country. And I don't really care. And the truth has to be worth something, right? The fact that this poor kid from DC that could go and do all the amazing things that I was able to do in my life, those opportunities are almost being swallowed up by this elitist group that is not allowing smart, good people to thrive. So
right.
I think men have to start. We have to build our own gang.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you want?
Yeah. Because the mafia is they're organized and they can get. I mean, they have paid operatives that are infiltrated into our party and infiltrated into our politics. Where I think that's how they make their living, is just making sure they can stifle any conservative or anybody that's telling the truth and telling what's going on. I mean, I don't even think Utahns know, but we're paying for trafficking. Our tax dollars are paying for trafficking. And it says right on there, Utah, whatever place they're doing it, and then human trafficking. It's are we just that stupid, or do you think you're doing good at what you're doing? I mean, they're overbuilding here because of the visas. They want visa workers to take away from the American worker.
What
You
do
know?
you what do you feel about what they said about American workers, that we don't have enough smart, talented people in the United States? We have to go find them overseas.
Yeah, that was just ignorant. And I'm like, well, it's your fault then because you're the one that's taking the system. Like here, the U of U is so heavily funded from federal tax dollars and state. And they're all foreign kids that are getting the benefits from these, that are getting taught this.
Look, I used to use foreign assets. I used to use coders from overseas. And I'm going to just tell you something. They're all retarded. They're all semi-retarded.
But
They couldn't build a concept if they were standing on it. They couldn't build a program unless you held their hand. And yeah, it's cheaper. It's way cheaper, right? But you need 30 of them.
But you think about it, the Americans know their freedoms. And so if you have an employee that doesn't know freedom, that's never lived free through life, wasn't ever taught that, or it's not in their blood, they're just going to do what you tell them to do. Here, if you're seeing something go wrong in the government, you're going to say, hey, that's wrong if you're a typical American. But to me, it's like that's the way they can control them. It's slaves is pretty much what it is. It's modernized slavery.
Why do you think they went after Tina? Now, this is a question I was going to ask Juan, but why Tina? You think it's because she's 70 years old? You think it's because... Did we lose Tracie too? Guys, did we lose Tracie? Oh. Yeah, let's take a quick break if we can. Let's take a quick break. I'm going to go grab my gun. Hey, guys, we'll be right back after this. We're going to take a quick break, get them back on.
Hey, this is just in from Fidelity. Gold could hit $4,000 an ounce as the Federal Reserve cuts rates to cushion the U.S. economy. The dollar drops and central bank keeps adding holdings. Gold has been on a record-breaking tear over the last few years, and it doesn't look to be slowing down in the years to come. Are your savings protected with precious metals like gold and silver? Are you waiting for gold and silver to shoot even higher in price? I want you to call my gold partner, Goldco, today and learn more about what precious metals can do for you. That's 844-960-GOLD or visit untamedgold.com. You'll get a free 2025 gold and silver kit, and you'll get info on the #1 precious metal offer in the game, where you can get up to 10% back in bonus silver just for getting started. But supplies are limited, so don't put it off. Call my gold partner, Goldco, at 844-960-GOLD. or visit untamedgold.com. That's 844-960-4653 or visit untamedgold.com. In every thread, in every stitch, Honor-Bound USA weaves the fabric of the American spirit. It's not just apparel, it's a testament to God, family, and country. At Honor-Bound USA, we're a family of patriots who put our faith, family, and America first. When you visit our website, you'll find a line of products that embody our commitment to pray, stand, speak, and act. As the official site for the Untamed podcast, all of our products proclaim speaking the truth with courage. We also have the powerful documentary from Professor David Clements, Let My People Go. Identify yourself as one of the few who are willing to stand for what they believe in. Join the Honor-Bound USA family today. Wear it as a badge of honor, commitment to the values that shape us, and a pledge to the bright future we will build together. Because when you're honor-bound, you're not just wearing a brand, you're embodying a lifestyle.
This is what we trained for!
Hey, I'm here for your Black Friday sale.
Black Friday is a go. Lock in your savings, shop Black Friday at DCF, and gear up for the biggest day of the year. DCF Guns, where we keep the range hot and the deals hotter.
Hi, I'm Joe, Supreme Leader of DCF Guns. What is DCF Guns, you ask? We're the best damn gun store and range in the universe. Do we have guns? We have all the guns. We got small guns, we got big guns. We even have beastly guns. We offer all types of training, and we have 5 ranges across our 3 locations. I'm a good shot. And of course, we have all types of ammo. We even have flamethrowers. Woo! We offer incredible membership opportunities, and members save even more on guns, ammo, and accessories. Military, both active and retired, and first responders get up to 40% off memberships. Come join the DCF family today, where we keep the range hot and the deals hotter. It's hot. Getting them back on, so we'll try to get them back in here. In the meantime, I'm going to skip through and I'm going to talk about some of the other stuff. We're going to skip past that and go to some of the funny, not so funny clips that are happening. So Idaho, when you think Idaho, you think of a state that is conservative, bright red. Well, maybe not. Let's go ahead and play it.
Duran, and I'm running for governor of Idaho in 2026 as an independent socialist candidate. Republicans will tell you that they're cutting your taxes while they also cut your social services like they did with HB 93 and how they gutted public education. And Democrats will just point to Republicans and talk about how mean they are. Those aren't options. Those aren't policies. I'm offering you a chance to get behind something new for Idaho, something that actually tries to look to the future and what Idaho needs. I'm running as an independent socialist. I'm also running as a proud member of Democratic Socialists of America. I'm a member of the Southern Idaho DSA chapter, but I've also been endorsed by the chapters in Boise and the Idaho Falls and Pocatello area. It's important to me to talk about what I am because I think it's important to take that name back for ourselves. People say socialist like it's just automatically a bad word, and the reality is it does have a meaning. Look at my platform, take a look at what I'm running for. Yes, it's socialism, but these are the kinds of policies that I think most Idahoans agree we need right now. And that means more to me than a label. You can find my full platform on DuranForIdaho.com, but some of the big issues that I'm championing are a universal healthcare system in the form of an Idaho-based Medicare for all, expanding our K-12 public school system to undo the damage of House Bill 93, and expand the curriculum options so that if you graduate from an Idaho high school, you'll walk out with a 2-year associate's degree at a college or university of your choice, and expanding our public housing system so that we'll have additional mixed income public housing and universal tenants' rights. Everyone belongs in Idaho, and I belong in that building.
Okay, I had a little fun with that. So that was a dude dressed up like a woman. That I got to tell you, I could probably have a conversation with him. But we have Tracie back. I don't want to lose the opportunity. It looks like Juan is trying to get back in as well. Tracie, welcome back.
Thank you. Sorry, my internet just cut out. Like, never usually does that. I have really good internet, so I don't know why I did that.
I know why I did that.
Yeah, but I wanted to answer your question about Tina. I think they did it to Tina to show everybody that if you stand up, you're going to get thrown in jail too. I think they did it to fearmonger everybody, because even our Lieutenant Governor, Deidre Henderson, when Tina got sentenced, she took to Twitter, or X now, and was like, the punishment fits the crime. Like, she was like calling it out. And she's the one that's a crook. Deidre Henderson is the crook. She's the one that stole our elections. But it was like to fearmonger anybody that stood up and tried to do what was right, you'll go to jail.
But did she say that? Did she say that publicly after Tina was?
Oh yeah, she put it on X. She put it on X. I screenshotted it because she. Yeah, I'm telling you, there's some really bad people here in Utah. But it was like to say, don't anybody question these elections, or you'll get what Tina got. It's pretty much the way I took it.
Okay, I am struggling. I am struggling with, you don't have a governor and a lieutenant governor that are real people. That was stolen. There was no consequences for that. They were allowed to basically violate the law. The judges let that happen.
Yeah. And our Utah AG is one of them too. He's not elected either.
They're all that way. I mean,
Yeah, he was disqualified.
Power.
Yep. He was disqualified, and it's from our previous Governor Levitt. I think that's when it started really bad in Utah, and he's never really left. To me, he's like the Obama, behind Biden. He's the guy running the show here, and he's the one that started this whole signature gathering scheme, and his family, they own this state. Like, it's like the mob. I mean, they get a lot of money from us and from the federal government because they run insurance companies.
All right. I want to get back to some of the questions that I want to ask you, because I mean, we know that this is happening in every state, but I'm not sure we understand to what degree. You have Idaho, that's also another state that's much like what you have in Utah. I would call them kissing cousins or sisters, or however you want to call it, but
yeah,
they have the same philosophies, very Christian. A mix of between Catholic and Mormon is a larger part of the population.
Yeah.
But Christian, God-fearing people. And yet they're comfortable enough now, the radical left is that they're running candidates that are radically left. What you just heard is a Tranny, Democrat, Socialist America, but basically Antifa candidate. They're comfortable running in Idaho. They're comfortable running in Utah. They're comfortable running in these states. And frankly, what the Republicans have done is they've moved everything over so far that it is almost identical to what they already have.
Yeah.
Why not get to that place? Because the Republicans have handed it over to them. It's like handing a baton.
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
It's not going to make any sense. It's all greed. It's all greed. And here we call them gaddy aunt and robbers because that's what they are. It's a Mormon thing. And here the Mormons are so trusting, and they don't think, well, they go to my church, they wouldn't do that. Or they're my bishop, they wouldn't do that. And it's like, wake up. It's happening. They would do that. It's all for greed. I mean, Ted Bundy got baptized, for heaven's sakes. And when he was arrested, they were like, no, he's too nice. And they were taking him cookies. It's like, no, there's bad guys out there. And we need to stand up, or our children are not going to have anything. The laws that they are passing right now in Utah are terrible laws. It's straight communism is what we're heading for.
Give me a couple of them. Give me a couple of them. These are Republicans, by the way, just so everyone knows. These are the Republicans. We're captured. We are captured by a cartel that basically is undercover.
Yeah, and they're bold enough to even change our flag to show us that we're captured. I mean, they changed our flag even though we said don't do it. But there's some. I'm trying to think of some of the bills of recent. I told you about the religious freedom one, where they were going to find a good enough reason to take your religious freedom. And to me, that was to neuter anybody saying, I can't take the vaccine. I think that bill was passed so they could say, no, you need to do it and take this. I think it was to force other people on us. And I'll try to think of some other bills that were passed of recently. Now you've put that on I've been in my.
Tracie, is your biggest problem infiltrators on your own side within your group that cause chaos? Do you have that same problem on your side as well?
Oh, yes. Our whole party's been infiltrated. There isn't I mean, the state delegates, we did 60%. So there was 60% of us that were good guys at the convention. There's like 67% was for Phil Lyman and almost 70% for Trent Staggs. So there are good people, but after that, this last year's convention, I'm worried that the good guys are just going to go away because their vote didn't matter. They waste. We were there. They try to make it as miserable as possible, the convention process. So you're there all day from your family. And I mean, it went clear to well over midnight that we were there because they just try to confuse people and mess up the convention. But 60%, over 60% are good. But I'm afraid they're not going to come back because what's the point? It didn't matter. The convention process did not matter to they just vetoed it. The oligarchs did because they need people in like Spencer Cox. I'll tell you one thing, Spencer Cox, our governor, is going around internationally. He's acting like he's president. It's like espionage. I know they're doing that through the U of U too. They're like selling our secrets and where our minerals are. And those minerals were for the public, not for foreign countries. They were to benefit our country. And they're just selling it. I think we were involved in the missiles going to Ukraine. I mean, he's making deals with Ukraine, and we have a company here that builds missiles. And so I think we were the ones supplying the bombings, the bombs for Ukraine to use. It's like we're feeding the war. So we have a real problem here in Utah, and people need to wake up in Utah because I think they think someone's going to come and save them, and no one's going to save them. It's we the people. That's why we started this grassroots and this filed this election lawsuit. And if we get enough momentum against it, it will deter bad behavior in the court system because they'll know that there's so many eyes on it, and they will try to tow a rope because they know if they mess up. And you know, it's not like we're paying an attorney. I filed a 20-pound complaint, so that would have cost so much money. So if they rule wrong, we're going to go to the 10th Circuit. We're going all the way. We already have a judge that has ruled in our favor in the 10th Circuit. He was a dissenting opinion about the signature gathering process. So we already have a 10th Circuit dissenting opinion because this has gone before.
So why would you have I mean, I think this is what you're alluding to with the good people will go away. Why would you have a convention if the convention doesn't mean anything, right? It's almost to demoralize the people.
Yeah. And that's what they want. They don't want the convention because those delegates, they will vet you. They will pay attention to the bills you're passing, and they will they'll hold you accountable. The next time they'll unseat you. They'll say, no, you didn't listen to the people. Right now, they won't listen to us because they know we have no power. They'll just veto our delegate vote and move on. And no one's ever going to do anything about it. That's why I think they were shocked when I filed that complaint. I filed it for wire fraud too. So what they did is they took to the internet using social media and email to convince the people that they were valid candidates. So they were trying to get their vote for them. And so that was wire fraud. And so now all the like elected, the elitists that they just usually thrash us grassroots, they're silent on social media. They're not saying anything about this case. And I think because they know if you tell a lie again on social media, you guys are going to get wire fraud too, because that's what they did. They coordinated and tried to make everybody think that they could use the signature gathering process to give them a second chance at the nomination, and they stole our votes. And then I think it was just, even the election after that, I think it was all for show. I mean, their fake direct primary that they forced upon us, they knew the results. I think it was less than 10 minutes after the polls closed. I'm like, it's fake. They're just pretending they're having an election, and they already know who's going to win. They've already predetermined who they need to win in order to continue this vicious cycle of money laundering. and human trafficking and all the other gross stuff that they've done.
Yeah. So how do you get people in your own community? And I'm thinking about this as you're talking, because you do have good people. You have 67. Are those 67% still involved? Or have
Yeah, they're angry. They're very angry. Some withdrew. They resigned their delegate spot, but we'll have another caucus and convention next year. And that's part of my case is a preliminary injunction saying that they can't use the stupid signature gathering process because the people don't approve of it, and it's not part of the system of the Utah Republican Party. So I'm hoping that this case, it has given them hope. It has said, they've said, finally, someone's standing up and they're thanking us and saying, finally, someone's here, but the system is broken. So I can't stress enough how much we need everybody to sign on to this so the courts will behave, because they're corrupt too. I mean, I'm going to join in the clerk now, the court clerk, because she's colluding with them to push it all to a magistrate judge when we haven't consented to a magistrate judge. So we'll join her as a defendant. And if this magistrate judge, which they've already done, they've usurped his authority and allowed them an extension to respond. And I'm like, you can't do that unless we agree to it. So he usurped his authority. So he's going to get joined in on the lawsuit because it's a conspiracy to take away our freedoms and our elections and to control them. Once you bring that back down to the delegates, and most people don't want to vote directly. They don't know. Like, they'll call their neighbors and say, hey, who are you voting for? Like, what do you think? I get calls all the time, say, who should I vote for? Can you help me? Do you have any intel on this race? We don't want this person, but it's, so people like the delegate system. They want to depend on somebody that is paying attention and holding these people accountable. And that, I think, should go across America. I think everybody needs to revert back to the caucus convention system. It shouldn't be partisan. If people are following the Constitution, it shouldn't be a partisan issue.
Do you think you can get the other 33%?
No.
You can't even get some of them?
No, because if you remember, about a third followed Satan. So we're only going to get 2/3, but that's okay. 2/3 is the majority. And I even said that to the attorneys that are on this case. They have 11 attorneys on this case fighting these little pro se plaintiffs. But I even emailed them one time and said, one of these times we're going to find a good person in the system and they're going to stand up. And I said, but I understand that you guys there was a third that followed Satan. So you guys are probably part of that.
Do you think, though, that based on that I don't know. I'm trying to just understand this is the thing I struggle with. When they're done, they're going to eat them first, right? So all the people that stood up and did all this stuff and got their pound of silver right now,
yeah,
they're the ones they're going to come for first.
Yeah,
they already know that they're weak. So
yeah.
Why?
I think they think they're untouchable. So part of our case is Rob Atson, who is the Utah Republican Party chair, and Kim Coleman, who was the vice chair at the time these crimes happened, and a Salt Lake County chair, vice chair, his name's Chris Knoll. I can already see that they have left them to the side. They all lawyered up with their state. I'm fighting the state representation too right now and saying you can't have a state funded represented or attorney. So I've already filed a motion to strike that. But they've left those three out to dry. And I'm sure they've told them everything's going to be okay. We'll take care of it. Well, all the deadlines are blowing past. They're missing all these deadlines. They don't even have attorneys because they probably called an attorney and the attorney said, I want $100,000 down because it's a RICO case and it's 20 pounds. Like that's over 4,000 sheets of paper. And so they probably like, well, they don't have the money to even defend themselves because, and so the elitists are leaving them out to dry. And now I'm just going to watch them all start twisting up because the defendants were all, the state ones were all under one group of attorneys. And now I see it shifting and the legislature has their own attorneys. And now the judicial branch has their attorney. Like I can see them starting to split from each other. And they'll eat themselves alive though through this whole system. And that's why we need Trump. He needs to stand up and start making his Department of Justice work. Or
I mean, look, there's the people we already know about the election systems being absolutely corrupt and rotted to the core. We know for a fact that the election machines are absolute trash and they were built to defraud the American people. We know these things 100%. Not 50%, not 20%. We're being gaslit all the way. President Trump knows too. We're not the smartest guys in the room. So why, if we're not the smartest guys in the room, can't we get to a conclusion where we can start arresting people?
Well, exactly. And I'm kind of ticked about the whole DOJ not helping Tina. Like, do your freaking job. I'm sick of them not doing their job. You guys said that you were capable, obviously, and that's why you've been hired onto the DOJ. Well, do your job.
Yeah, you know, they say that white hats are supposed to be in control of things. And I understand that a certain portion, the way that they actually say, so here's, if you're the enemy, here's what you do. You go into a position like Pam Bondi's in, or Tad Blanche is in, or any of these guys, and their oligarchs are typically guys that are the billionaires, the Anschutz of the worlds and things like that. So that's the only signals that they're paying attention to. Now, President Trump is in office and they're like, oh, yes, yeah, we're doing that, but we had to replace this. This person's really bad. So they're probably bringing him low-level fruit and saying, here's some low-level fruit we can get rid of, because you have to sacrifice some people and then just tell them, listen, I'm going to get rid of you. You got to go because I need to slow things down, right? And what you can see happening, the same thing, if you look back at President Trump's first term in 2017, he had the House, the Senate, and the presidency. He had it all, right?
Yeah.
And when he had the House, the Senate, and the presidency, what happened in 2017? Nothing. He had Jeff Sessions. I could go down the line. He had every single person you could think of that were basically rotting him out from the inside, having secret conversations and doing all this. Tracy, what happened in 2018?
Yeah, they just fought him the whole way.
2018, we lost the House and the Senate.
Yeah.
What
And that's going to happen again.
As soon as that happened, what happened?
Then they just fought him with impeachment.
Twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, Mike Lee, a lot of it is people are snakes. Mike Lee, he may act and run his mouth like he's a real conservative, but he's not. He's in on this crap. I just haven't been able to tie him to my RICO case. But because they're all connected. It's all the same players. And he endorsed Cox. And if he was any kind of conservative, you would know Spencer Cox is probably a closet gay. He's not conservative. He is destroying the state. And so if you were really a good person, you would have never endorsed him. And so I think Trump needs to be aware of that too, that there's still snakes in there. And they'll move things and try to stop things too behind his back.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the same playbook that they played before. They're playing the same one now.
Yep.
Only this time they're trying to look tough. And here's how I know that that's true. If you just look at historically what's happened since he got in office, they said, we're going to hit the ground running. So they grabbed every influencer out there and they put him on the White House lawn and they handed him a binder and said, we got Jeffrey Epstein. We got them all. We're going after him. What was in the binder, Tracy?
Yeah, the same stuff.
They wanted to make President Trump look stupid, right? It started that day. That was the initiation of, hey, we're going to make it look stupid. The people like Tom Homan, their job's really simple: get people out. Bureau of Prisons, get people out. But the people underneath them that are doing work, their job, if you're a snake, you want to make people look bad and then make sure it's like oops, sorry, oops, sorry, oops, sorry. And that's more of what we see happening right now at every level. At every level. How many people have been arrested, Tracy, for committing crimes?
Thousands.
No. How many since they got back into office, how many people in the government?
You mean the bad guys? Not one. I see
Not
them.
one.
Yeah, I see them saying, "Oh, Katie Hobbs is getting a RICO case," but as soon as I see it, I may not. I'd love to see it. I mean, I've handed them a RICO case. Here, like, arrest them.
Tracy,
Like, why won't you do it?
Butts.
Huh?
Sniffing butts.
Yeah.
They literally sniff around the edges, get people excited. Same thing with Tina.
Yep.
Some letter that leaked from Todd Blanche that went to the BOP, the Bureau of Prisons, and it says, "Oh yeah, I want you to get ready to move her." It's to get people to calm down because we're pissed.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm not calming down.
Just a couple of what's that?
I won't calm down. I'm really angry. I was talking to Juan earlier this morning, and I was like, this whole Tina thing makes me want to swear and use bad words. It's angered me so bad that I'm like, I'm had it with them. If they don't know how to do their job, then they need to get the hell out of the way and let the people that do get in there and take care of it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't think Juan's going to get back on, so we don't have any more fun stuff to talk about other than you're doing the same Utah corruption in Colorado too, correct?
Yeah, they're doing a Colorado one too. We're helping with the Colorado getting that site up and getting them going, and help them with anything we can with Tina, because it just breaks my heart that she's sick and that she's sick in there and no one's getting her out. It's like, all you have to do is do this, this, and this. Just get her out.
Yeah. Well, let me. How do people follow you? Let's
Tracie Halvorsen on X and on Facebook, and I should be better at the others, but I'm not. But it's Tracie Halvorsen everywhere. But UtahCorruption.com too. Please sign up, and the more we get, the more protection we get from the people that are actually fighting this, and it will actually help the judges from stopping to commit crimes, because this is, like, to me, this is our last hurrah, like our Hail Mary is this case to say, if we can't get this through and get our caucus and convention system back, then Utah's done. Like, it'll be done. They are moving way too fast, passing all these bills to break the people, and we will be taxed right out of our homes.
All right. Well, Tracy, I just followed you, so I followed you on X. Everyone else needs to follow you as well.
Well, thanks for having me on, Joe.
Actually, thanks for being on. I want to get you back on again.
Okay.
We have a little bit more time to go back through a debate when we can get Juan back on here, because I think it's important that we work the problem. I mean, look, we're all frustrated. We're frustrated because people decided that in the 9th or the 11th inning of we're heading towards the top of the 11th. This is it. This is to win the World Series.
Yeah.
Getting our country back. And everyone was like, "Oh, Trump's in office. Let him handle it." So there's not a whole lot of character that has come along with this. So we got to get people to wake up and get back in the fight.
Yeah, we do. And we can't just put all our weight and wishes on Trump. We got to start in our own communities and start pushing back and fighting these guys from your city up.
But they demoralize us, right? I mean, and we're fatigued because nobody wants to fight conflict all day long. I know. 5 years, and you just get to the point where you're like, I just don't want anything to do with it, right? Because it's so bad. It's that bad. And I know guys that have been in this fight. I'm talking, you wake up in the morning, do a podcast in the morning. They're out there, they're talking to people. I did 200 events last year.
Wow.
All over the country. All over the country. This year, I'm blessed. I'm down to half that. So I'll finish it right at 100. But I want to get down to 50, but I'm like, oh man, I'm lucky that I didn't go back to doing 200.
Yeah.
We get people back into this idea that they have an opportunity. They have a seat at the table. To save
Yeah.
our-
It's this administration right now. If we have any chance, we've got to do it now.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, God bless you. Thanks for coming
Thanks.
on.
You too.
Tracie, we'll have you on again.
Okay. Thanks, Joe.
God bless you. Yeah, they're doing amazing work in Utah, and she's spreading that word across to Colorado. I will tell you, if you're listening in Utah, you should get a hold of Tracie. You should have the conversation with her and see what you can do on our side to make things a little better. Let's go back to this stuff that we were talking about. This will be a interesting set of funny, not so funny stuff. JFK's grandson, Jack Schlossberg, and he's running for Congress to replace Jerry Nadler. You can't make this up. Go ahead and put it up.
She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride, but she don't care.
That's the best we have in our country, right there. What's going on when that's the best? I'd rather have Bob the Builder or a purple dinosaur with webbed feet. And check this out. If you think that's bad, here's what's happening in Michigan. I'd play it. So that is Elyon Badger. He is a furry that's running as a Democrat for Congress of Michigan. This is a real thing. Here's a tweet from TikTok. Pictures of him dressed up. The guy in the middle of the group looks like he's shot on the floor. I don't get this. This is what is running for Congress. If you want to know what that is, these are furries. This is unbelievable. And while everybody was focused on Mamdani, a woman who is openly a member of the Communist Party was just elected in New York. Let's put that up if we can.
City of Ithaca, New York, 20-year-old college student Hannah Schvetz has been elected to the Ithaca Common Council, representing the 5th Ward. What's making headlines is that she's also an open member of the Communist Party USA. She ran as a Democratic candidate, but received strong backing from progressive local groups such as the Democratic Socialists of America and tenant unions.
Okay, just so you know, she's another Jewish synagogue of Satan person. This is getting serious, and it's very, very serious. I don't know what to say. Here's a couple of videos that I want to show you. These are videos of liberals, women. This is just so you can end a little bit funny, but it's very serious. I mean, what we're dealing with is serious. Let's play the first one.
So we are thinking about moving our whole entire family from Greenville, South Carolina to the West Coast, somewhere like Seattle or Portland or somewhere like that. That's a little bit more like progressive. I have lived in this area my whole entire life, which is 44 years, and I am done with it. I need to do something else. I have moved, Jason and I together have moved a lot of times. In the 10 or 12 whatever years we've been together, we've moved probably 4 times. But it's all been right inside the area. And it just got real today because I texted my realtor, which usually the second I text my realtor, the deal's done, we gone. So if you live in Seattle or Portland or over there somewhere in that area that is blue, hit me up and let me know what it's like over there.
Maybe we can get them all to move to the same area and leave us all alone. Here, check this out. Here's another one.
Alternate reality where I have an email that you can't see.
We're done. We're not reopening this case. I'm not taking your report.
Okay, I'm going to stand here till you let me file a case because as a civilian, I have the right to do so.
If you want to stay in our lobby, you can. But if you're disruptive, you'll be arrested.
Okay, let's put me under arrest.
I'm not arresting you now.
Hey,
now you're
okay.
under arrest.
Let's do this. Okay.
You're under arrest for battery of a police officer.
Okay.
Stop resisting.
I have a back issue. Okay, brain disease. I can't.
Stop.
I can't.
People are nice, aren't they? People are nice. Let's as we go through our weekend, I just want two things for you. One, we're going to pray for Dave, pray for Tina, pray for the president of the United States. Get Tina out of jail. That's the theme, is that she's rotting away in jail. And the people, by the way, that were standing side by side with her said, you know, I'll never abandon you. And I'm talking about you, Mike, Sharona, right? All these people that said, hey, I got this good idea. I want to do this. Conan Hayes, all the people that stood next to her, none of those people were actually charged. Nobody was charged except for Tina Peters. Everybody's involved in it. One person is charged is Tina Peters. You want to know why? Because some of those people were in on it. Conan Hayes is a CIA agent. Sorry, he is. He's an operative. Sharona Bishop, Fed. Yeah. We got so much. We have so many people on our side that are they're just shit people. But Tina Peters had to go to jail. It's always, I always say that the people that are that are closest to it, you know, the stuff that I'm dealing with Coomer, my lawyers are right now in a hearing. I'm not in town, but right now they're in a hearing because they're like, oh, you don't have this information. I was like, no, I don't have this information. It doesn't exist. And they're like, well, you have an obligation to keep it. I was like, you've interviewed 4 people, and those 4 people all tell you that your client's full of shit. I didn't even have to show up. I don't even have to go to any of these depositions because I know the only liar in all this is Eric Coomer. He's the only liar in all of this. And the charade should be over. But the reason why it's not is because our feckless cowards on the Republican side won't do what's right. The FBI won't do what's right. The ODNI is not doing what's right. The CIA is just running the show. They're just doing whatever they want, any way that they want. So I'm going to pray for President Trump. I'm going to pray to get Tina out and pray that Dave is healed. And, you know, we're just, all I can say is we do the best we can with what we have, and we continue to fight. Just keep fighting. That's all you got to do is keep fighting. What do you guys got to say up here in the comments? Let's see here. Greenville, South Carolina, glad to see you leave. Jeff, I'm not going to put that last word there. Don't let the door hit you with a good Lord split you. Chris, that was a furry, Chris. And watching those videos, D-Max says, watching those videos is a good incentive for Joe to go shoot something. So actually, before I pray, just want you guys to see something. Ever heard of a Bagara? So this is a Bagara. This is a 308 Win Mag. And what a fun gun to shoot. Oh, let's see if we can get it out. What is happening here? What? It is just freshly cleaned. Yeah, so these guys. Think that'll take down an elk? I think it will. Yeah. So we're gonna have a little fun out here. But yeah, this is a 308 Win Mag Bergara. Beautiful gun. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful gun. If you need a gun, go to dcfguns.com. But it is a fun, fun, fun gun. And I don't know why I'm having trouble with this. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Did I break it? I did not break it. See, this is what happens when you buy a really expensive gun. All right, there we go. All right, all good in the hood. So yes, I'm gonna go shoot something. Now that I look like I don't know what I'm doing. Really nice. Got a SIG scope on it. Actually, no. Yeah, SIG scope on it. All right, let's pray. What else you guys got? Tina is in prison, not jail. She will lecture you on the difference. Yeah, I know, Evans. I got you right. There's a big difference. It's a big difference, huge difference actually. Would you send that Greenville clip, please? I live in Greenville. I need that. Oh, we know where you are now, Jeff. We'll come see you. To get an elk, just go to one of the restaurants in Estes Park. No. Yeah, I don't want to do that. You didn't answer my text. I did not? Oh, DMAC didn't. All right, listen, let's pray it out, right? Let's do this. Love you too, Joe Sam. Be safe. Yeah, thank you. I'm going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be fun out here. All right, Father God, thank you for the opportunity to be here today. Thank you for this beautiful weather we have behind us and all of this nature. Thank you, Father, for for the beautiful planet that we live on and for the beautiful people that are in it. I said this morning when I was asked the question of what I got from 2020, I said I got real friends. And yeah, I had friends before there were real friends, but I got to know who my real friends were, and I got to pick up a whole lot of new ones. So, Father, I'm very grateful for that. And I'm grateful for the opportunity I have to be up here hunting and for the many blessings you put in my life. Father, I'm grateful for the ability to serve you in every way possible. And I'm grateful for our president, and I'm grateful for the people that are doing what they need to do around him, and not necessarily the ones that will get Tina out, but there are some good ones. Father, I would just ask that you make it infectious, that the good people shall infect the bad people, and the bad people may have a lapse of consciousness and start to do the right thing. Help us, Father, that we may stand together and we may step in the gap, and that the people that were previously involved will get back involved, and we'll make decisions to fight regardless of the consequences based on where we are right now. Father, I just ask you to lift the burden off of President Trump's shoulders and to walk with him, to give him sound advice and to help him to navigate this insurrection that we're currently in the middle of in the United States. I ask you, Father, to put a special blessing over Dave Bear and heal him. I know that he goes into a new trial on Monday, Father, and I just ask that you give him the strength of 1,000 men, that he can overcome this cancer and that can be rid from his body. Lastly, Father, I ask you to put a special blessing over Tina Peters as she is sick, that she can be healed, and that she can be comforted, and that while she is in prison, that she can become a change agent for good for the people that she is around there, and that we can push hard to get her out of prison, Father. I just ask you that would happen soon. We have all these feckless cowards that seem to not stand up, Father. They're not doing the right thing. They're not serving you. They're serving themselves. Help us to expose them, Father, and to put ourselves in a position where we can solve some of the woes that we have as a society with strength, with courage, but yet still having compassion for those people around us. Father, I ask these things humbly in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. You guys have a great. Oh, Chris started a new job on Monday. I try to see when I can lurk when I work. Please do that. Susan Rice, good to see you. Maud Tread, great to see you. Yeah, everybody give Chris congratulations, Chris. That's great. It's been a long time coming. And if you don't know, she was in a huge fight against Raytheon for just some bad behavior on their side. More lawfare kept her away from getting to the bottom of it. So, hey, God bless you all. Have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday. All right, take care.
Rise up untamed in the heart of the fight where the wild ones roam. Joe Oltmann's calling, bringing truth back home. From conservative daily to this untamed fire, we shatter the silence, lifting spirits higher. No chains can hold us, no lies can prevail. Authentic and fearless on this rugged trail. Patriots gather under stars and stripes. Untamed nation, igniting the night. Untamed nation, let the truth roll out in this land of the free. Standing proud from sea to shining sea, we won't back down. Catch the fire where find a heel. Joe's voice leads the untamed crew. Truth matters through and through. Untamed nation, let the truth roll out in this land of the free. Standing proud from sea to shining sea, we won't back down. Catch the fire, wear the crown, tame nation. It's our battle song, motivating hearts where the brave belong. Yeah, untamed and wild, forever strong. Play it again all night long. Truth forever. True forever.